Moving into a nursing home seemed like the right choice at first. I thought I would receive the care I needed, have a social life, and live comfortably without the constant worry of daily responsibilities. The idea of having healthcare professionals available around the clock, planned activities to keep me engaged, and a structured environment where everything was taken care of sounded reassuring. I believed that it would be a smooth transition, offering me peace of mind and a sense of security in my later years. I envisioned a place where I could relax, knowing that I would be well cared for and not burdened by the tasks that had become increasingly difficult as I aged. It seemed like the perfect solution, a way to ensure that I could live out my remaining years with dignity and comfort, surrounded by supportive staff and fellow residents. But the reality turned out to be far different. The experience of moving into a nursing home was far more challenging than I had anticipated. What initially seemed like a promising solution quickly revealed unexpected downsides that deeply affected my sense of independence, emotional well-being, and overall quality of life. The adjustment to a new environment, the loss of personal space, and the lack of control over my daily routine were just the beginning of the challenges I would face. Despite the presence of care staff and other residents, loneliness and isolation became pervasive, and I found it difficult to adjust to the highly structured and often impersonal nature of life in a nursing home. What I thought would be a simple transition quickly became an overwhelming experience. I soon realized that nursing homes, while they offer necessary medical care, come with limitations that were not immediately obvious to me. My sense of autonomy and personal freedom took a significant hit. I found that the structured environment, rather than providing a sense of security, often made me feel trapped. The lack of flexibility in daily routines and the restrictions on personal space and privacy contributed to feelings of frustration and helplessness. I also began to realize that the level of care provided was not always consistent, and that the emotional and psychological aspects of living in a nursing home are often overlooked in favor of physical care. If you're considering a nursing home, it's crucial to be fully informed before making this life-changing decision. There are many aspects to consider that may not be immediately apparent when you first look into the idea of moving into a facility. It's essential to understand that, while nursing homes provide essential services, they come with their own set of challenges and compromises. The reality of living in a nursing home can be vastly different from the expectations you might have, and it's important to take the time to weigh all the factors involved. Here are 6 hard truths you must know before making this decision, so you can make an informed choice about what's best for your future and well-being. 1. Loss of independence. Losing independence is one of the hardest and most emotionally challenging adjustments when moving into a nursing home. For many, the ability to make personal decisions about daily life has been a hallmark of their freedom. The simple yet important choices, such as deciding when to wake up, when to eat meals, when to take a walk, or even who to invite for a visit, become restricted once you enter a facility. The rigid, structured nature of nursing homes means that your personal schedule is often replaced by one dictated by the facility, leaving little room for spontaneity or individual preferences. Instead of following your natural routine, you are now required to adapt to predetermined mealtimes, medication schedules, and planned activities set by the facility, often with little flexibility. This loss of autonomy can be especially difficult for individuals who have spent the majority of their lives enjoying the freedom to make decisions for themselves. The ability to choose how to spend your day, whether it's lounging in the garden enjoying a hobby or simply relaxing in peace, was once a given. But now, it may feel like that freedom has been stripped away. What once seemed like insignificant choices suddenly become precious privileges that are no longer in your control. This shift can be jarring, as it forces you to rely on others for even the smallest tasks, making you feel as if you have lost a fundamental part of who you are. Over time, this lack of control can lead to feelings of helplessness, frustration, and even deep sadness. When you can no longer decide when to wake up, what to eat, or when to rest, you may start to feel that your voice no longer matters. It can be an emotionally draining experience, particularly for those who have always prided themselves on their self-reliance. The sense of powerlessness can be overwhelming, as it forces you to depend on others in ways you may not have been accustomed to before. For many residents, the frustration of not being able to make their own decisions can result in emotional distress and, in some cases, lead to depression. Additionally, the loss of control over one's life in a nursing home can have long-lasting effects on mental health. It may feel as though you are no longer an active participant in the decisions about your own well-being. The lack of input on what happens to you and how your day unfolds can exacerbate feelings of isolation and disconnection. The transition to nursing home life can be emotionally and mentally exhausting, as it requires adjusting to a life where decisions are made by others, and one's independence is minimized or completely restricted. This can be especially challenging for individuals who are used to being in control of their own lives and who have been fiercely independent for many years. The emotional impact of this transition is often much deeper than anticipated, and it is a critical factor to consider before making the decision to enter a nursing home. 2. Limited personal space. In a nursing home, privacy is minimal, and personal space is often compromised. This can be one of the most difficult aspects to adjust to when moving in. You may find yourself having to share a room with a stranger, someone whose habits, sleep schedules, and preferences are completely different from your own. This can make it hard to feel truly comfortable or relaxed, as you may not be able to control your environment in the way you once could. The lack of personal space can leave you feeling crowded, vulnerable, and disconnected from the privacy you may have enjoyed in your previous home. There is little room for personalization in most nursing home settings, which can make it hard to maintain a sense of individuality. Personal belongings are often limited to what fits in a small space, and cherished items that once brought comfort, like family photos, keepsakes, or favorite furniture, may need to be left behind. This can make the transition to a nursing home feel even more drastic, as you are not only adjusting to a new routine and environment, but also saying goodbye to the personal touches that made your living space feel like home. The lack of familiar objects and the inability to create a space that reflects your personality and needs can deepen feelings of disorientation and loss. If you deeply value your personal space and freedom, the adjustment to life in a nursing home can be especially challenging. The constant presence of staff members and fellow residents may make you feel as though you have lost your autonomy. The lack of solitude, which many people take for granted, can be overwhelming. Conversations, noises, and activities that occur in shared spaces can interfere with your ability to rest and relax. Whether it's loud discussions in hallways or activities happening outside your room, the lack of quiet and privacy can create feelings of frustration and irritability. In addition, you may have to follow rules and schedules that restrict your movements and activities. Visiting hours, quiet times, and limitations on how or when you can use common areas can add to the feeling of restriction and make you feel as though you're living on someone else's terms. Over time, this constant lack of control over your environment and daily life can begin to take an emotional toll. Some residents report feeling as if they've lost their sense of independence and personal identity, as they no longer have the freedom to choose how they want to live. The absence of privacy and the need to adapt to the collective needs of the facility can erode the sense of individuality and personal dignity, making it more difficult to feel like yourself. 3. Emotional loneliness. Even though you're surrounded by staff and other residents, loneliness is surprisingly common in a nursing home. At first, it may seem like there are plenty of people around to interact with, but meaningful connections can be difficult to establish. Many residents come from different backgrounds, have varying levels of cognitive ability, or simply struggle with socializing due to physical limitations. The structured environment and routine-driven nature of nursing homes often limit opportunities for deep and spontaneous conversations, making it hard to form genuine friendships. Visits from family and friends might decrease over time, whether due to distance, busy schedules, or the assumption that the resident is already well cared for and engaged. Special occasions, holidays, and personal milestones can feel particularly isolating when loved ones are unable to visit. Even when visits do happen, they may be brief and infrequent, leaving residents longing for more meaningful interaction and emotional connection. For many, this growing sense of distance leads to feelings of abandonment and emotional isolation. Seeing other residents receive visits while they sit alone can deepen the pain. Over time, the loneliness can have significant effects on mental health, contributing to depression, anxiety, and a sense of hopelessness. Without regular engagement from loved ones or a strong support system, it's easy to feel forgotten, despite being constantly surrounded by people. 4. Quality of care varies. Not all nursing homes provide the level of care you expect, and the reality can be disappointing or even distressing. While many facilities advertise high-quality care, the actual experience often depends on factors like staffing levels, management, and available resources. Understaffing is a major issue in many nursing homes, leading to overworked employees who struggle to meet the needs of every resident. Caregivers may be responsible for too many residents at once, making it difficult to provide individualized attention and timely assistance. This can result in long wait times for essential services, such as help with dressing, bathing, or using the restroom. Medications may not always be administered on time, and meals might be served cold or without consideration for personal dietary needs. In some cases, medical conditions go unnoticed or untreated because staff members are stretched too thin to monitor every resident closely. For residents, this inconsistency can make daily life frustrating and uncomfortable. Some feel neglected or ignored, especially when their calls for assistance go unanswered for long periods. The lack of attentive care can lead to declining physical and emotional well-being, making an already difficult transition even harder. Additionally, while some staff members are kind and compassionate, others may be impatient or indifferent due to stress, burnout, or inadequate training. The quality of care also varies from one facility to another, meaning that some nursing homes may provide excellent service while others fall short. Families often struggle to ensure their loved ones receive the attention they deserve, and without proper oversight, some residents suffer in silence. Choosing the right nursing home requires thorough research, frequent visits, and continuous monitoring to ensure that the level of care meets expectations. 5. Financial strain. Nursing homes are expensive, and the costs associated with them can quickly add up, often rising over time. Many facilities charge high monthly fees to cover room and board, healthcare, meals, and various activities. These costs can vary significantly depending on the location, the level of care needed, and the reputation of the facility. In some areas, nursing home fees can range from several thousand to tens of thousands of dollars each month. Additionally, while the initial costs may be manageable, it's crucial to understand that they are not static. Prices can increase over time due to inflation, changes in healthcare regulations, or the need for more specialized care as residents' health needs evolve. Even with insurance or government aid, many residents find that their savings deplete quickly. For those with long-term care insurance, it may cover some of the costs, but often not the entire amount. Many policies have limits on the number of years they will provide coverage or cap the total amount they will pay out. Government programs like Medicaid can offer financial assistance, but qualifying for Medicaid often requires individuals to use up most of their personal assets before receiving help. This can result in families having to liquidate homes, sell investments, or deplete retirement savings just to cover ongoing costs. In some cases, residents and their families find themselves in a financial bind, especially if the nursing home stay extends longer than anticipated. What was once thought to be an affordable solution for short-term care can become an enormous financial burden. Without proper financial planning, residents may face the heartbreaking reality of exhausting their savings and running out of resources. This can also place a strain on loved ones, who may be forced to step in and help financially, creating long-term stress for the entire family. It's important to consider whether nursing home care is a sustainable option for your future. If you're planning for long-term care, it's essential to carefully assess your financial situation and explore different funding options. Start by considering whether your savings, insurance, or any other financial resources are sufficient to cover long-term nursing home costs. You may also want to look into alternative options such as home care, assisted living, or even in-home healthcare services that may provide a more affordable and flexible option. Planning ahead is key to ensuring that you or your loved one will be able to receive the care they need without sacrificing financial stability. It's important to weigh the costs carefully and, if necessary, consult with a financial planner who specializes in elder care to understand all the financial implications and prepare for the future accordingly. 6. Adjustment can be difficult. No matter how well a nursing home is run, moving in is a major life change that can be emotionally and mentally overwhelming. For many individuals, this transition marks a significant departure from the life they once knew, one of independence, familiarity, and the comforts of home. The shift into a nursing home can feel like an unexpected and unwelcome disruption, no matter how much support is provided by the facility. It can be difficult to adjust to living in a new place where everything from daily routines to interactions with staff and fellow residents is different. This transition is often accompanied by a mix of emotions, including sadness, confusion, and frustration. Many residents struggle with feelings of loss, not just of their former home, but also of their autonomy and familiar surroundings. It's common for individuals to feel a sense of disorientation as they try to adjust to new routines, schedules, and social dynamics. The loss of personal control over aspects of their life, like mealtimes, visitation hours, and even personal space, can exacerbate feelings of helplessness and despair. For some, these emotional challenges can evolve into more serious issues like depression and anxiety. The isolation that can occur when family and friends visit less frequently, combined with the difficulty of making new connections in the nursing home environment, can deepen these feelings. The reality of living in a nursing home may not match the expectations, leading some residents to experience intense regret or a sense of being trapped in their new circumstances. It's important to recognize that the adjustment period can take time, and some residents may never fully acclimate to their new environment. Even when the nursing home is well maintained and staff are caring, not everyone finds happiness in this setting. Some may find comfort in creating new routines or forging new friendships, but others may feel disconnected and alienated from the new surroundings. In these cases, emotional support from family, friends, and mental health professionals becomes essential in helping residents cope with this life-altering change. Conclusion: before making the decision to move into a nursing home, it's essential to carefully consider these 6 hard truths. The choice to enter a nursing home is not one to be taken lightly, as it involves significant emotional, physical, and financial implications. Nursing homes can provide a much-needed service for individuals who require medical care or constant supervision, but they are not the right fit for everyone. Understanding the challenges and potential drawbacks of nursing home life will help you make a more informed decision about what is truly best for your future. It's also important to explore alternatives like home care, assisted living, or other community-based options if possible. Home care allows you to remain in a familiar environment while receiving the medical attention and support you need. Trained caregivers can come to your home to help with daily tasks such as personal care, meal preparation, and medication management. This option gives you more control over your surroundings and routines while still providing necessary assistance. Assisted living is another option that offers a balance between independence and care. These facilities provide support with daily activities like dressing, bathing, and meals. But residents typically have more privacy and flexibility compared to nursing homes. Assisted living communities often focus on creating a more vibrant, social atmosphere with opportunities for residents to engage in activities, outings, and group events. For some, this can be a more comfortable and less restrictive alternative. Whatever option you choose, make sure it aligns with your needs, comfort, and happiness. This is your life, and the decision should reflect what will bring you the most peace and satisfaction in your later years. Take the time to visit different facilities, talk to staff members, and speak with current residents and their families. If possible, get advice from trusted professionals or family members who understand your unique needs. It's crucial to consider not only the level of care provided, but also the emotional and social environment of the place you'll be living. Above all, don't feel pressured to make a quick decision. The right choice will take time to find, and it's essential to prioritize your well-being, happiness, and comfort as you plan for the future. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for more valuable insights. Thank you for watching,